of this great Cotton University of Assam, Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Owari, distinguished members of the faculty of this university, and my dear students. Well, I miss my youth. I see all of you very young. And I have been just introduced that I am 78. And then I want to tell you how you take this age, the attitude of the person. Because today you want me to speak on motivation and inspire the students of this generation. I say I am 78, but actually I am 30 with 48 years of experience. So that is the attitude that keeps you young, that keeps you learning things. A person do not grow old. He becomes old when he stops growing. So this is another attitude. So these are all very inspiring words which I have tried to apply to myself from the beginning. I was not born with a silver spoon. I was born without any spoon at all. My home, where I was born, with a lot of love of my parents and my sisters and elder brothers. It was a place of love, dignity, and honesty. We are poor, no doubt, but looking back, I feel we are rich in our outlook, in our attitude, in our concern for the fellow citizens. Poverty, no doubt, makes you suffer, and I have suffered. I could not enjoy my youth as you are enjoying here now. I worked in daytime, studied in night college. The first shoes I had put on was when I went for matriculation examination at Dhuri from Gosaigao. Before that, I walked on the gravel road from my village to Gosaigao. Those days, Gosaigao had no electricity, let alone telephones and all that. So this is the part of my life. Now, what is this inspiration that you are talking about today? My experience is that success in life is 99% perspiration, 1% inspiration. You get my point? Just don't say that I am being inspired by your speech or something. Unless you have the perspiration, inspiration is not going to lead you anywhere. So it is 99% perspiration, you must perspire, work hard. Then only inspiration is counted as part of your success. And what is success? Most of you who have come to this Cotton College, you have already achieved your first success. You get me? All the students in Assam, possibly few who are very, very brilliant and rich people who can go outside Assam and study. But those who have to study in Assam, the first choice for admission is this university. I always say it college because I am used to it. Sometimes I mistake Professor Dekar. So this is your first success, that you have got admitted in this institution. So this is also a success. So how do you feel about this success? Success is the one that makes you feel happy and proud of yourself. This is success. And success is not a one-time achievement. After this, your next aim is to do well in the examination, whether you are in science, arts, commerce, or anywhere. That comes the next success. Success is always ongoing. There is no end to it. What is the success for a farmer? A farmer who plows, who sows the seeds, plants, saplings. For him, success is obtaining good crop. He's happy. That is his aim. What is the success of a teacher? Success of a teacher is to ensure that his students or her students do well. And this is his or her pride. What is the success of the parents? It is that the children become good human beings, not only materially, but morally, ethically. Parents want children to be good people, not only success. So this is the several stages of success. Success never ends. But there is a difference between greed and success. Greed has no end. Greed, it is the word most dangerous. And unfortunately, we confuse our greed with our aim for success. Greed is a very dangerous word. There is enough in the world for the people to be happy, but there is nothing much in the world to make a greedy man happy. So do not be greedy. Your aim now, possibly most of you in the second stage of your life now. You become graduate. After that you take the post-graduation. And then go forward. Now I know your problems. The quality of education in the entire Northeast, well, it is unpalatable truth, but is that we are much lower in our standard of education. As such, India's quality of education itself is very poor. And in India, the northeastern states, and in the northeastern states, a region like the Bodo territorial region is even worse. We have the problem of language. I do not know how many of you are clearly understanding what I am trying to say, and it is not your fault. It is the fault of our educational system. We do not have language which we really understand clearly. Now, if a Bodo student comes here, I find a lot of my own relatives coming here. They speak to others in broken Hindi, not in Assamese, not in English. As a matter of what has happened, there is a mixed up in language. The language is not able to fulfill your desire to express yourself. So that problem we face. Those boys who have studied in Assamese, same thing, you cannot express properly in English or in Hindi. So we have the language barrier. To remove all this barrier, government now has introduced regional languages in the competitive examination, in all the examinations. But have you noticed one thing? Now you can write in Assamese even the UPSC examination, the civil services examination, except the compulsory subjects. A person, a student from Kerala, he can write in Malayalam. But there is a difference. A person from Kerala or Tamil Nadu, whether they write in English or in their own mother tongue have always performed better than we, whether we write in English or Assamese or even in Bodo. Why is that so? Please think it over. Why? I mean, there is some problem with us. We are not good even in Assamese, even in Bodo. So this language barrier is one of the very big handicaps for the successful professional pursuit of our young people. I feel bad sometimes, particularly for the Bodo students, because they don't study Assamese at all. Hindi, schools and colleges. Now, I think this is being introduced. Because language should never be confused with politics. Learning, we must be able to learn as many languages as possible. Not that I don't want to learn that language. I will only learn my mother tongue. This is a very suicidal attitude. This happens for Assamese people also, not only Bodo speaking people. Let us not blind ourselves by this narrow sense of chauvinism, linguistic chauvinism, that I will learn only my mother tongue. I learn my mother tongue, it is. But at the same time, I have to learn as many languages as possible. I studied in Assamese medium. I could not speak a word of English. Till I passed matriculation. You know, very interesting thing that happened to me was when I first went for admission in college. Cotton College was not in my radar, not in my consideration. I wanted to go and study in Shillong. Some reason, you know, a sense of adventure, possibly. The same sense of adventure took me to Kerala after I qualified in the Indian Police Service. Because there is an option to be given, 1, 2, 3. I gave Kerala my option. A Bodo boy from Assam who has never gone out anywhere beyond Assam opted for Kerala and got Kerala cadre. Same thing, I wanted to study in college in Shillong. But by the time I had gone there, admission session was over. Because at a place like Gosaigao, you don't get the result. The only way we get the result was Assam Tribune going there 3 days later. And that we got it, I think, totally after 1 week of the declaration of the result, matriculation. So I went to Shillong, then St. Anthony's, St. Edmunds, everything was closed for admission. The only one college that was left to me was that someone said, you go to Borapani, Union Christian College. So I went there. The principal there was a pure Englishman, a great physicist, who incidentally became the Vice Chancellor of Gauhati University also, Dr. Harold John Taylor. He spoke to me in English. I had no idea what language he was speaking. I have never heard an Englishman speaking English. And it is, so he asked me, do you understand me? Then my friend told me, he's asking you in Bodo. I noted yes. So this was the standard of my English. Union Christian College. It's a small college. But I am grateful that I did not get admission in St. Edmunds, St. Anthony's, because it was closed. I was forced to go to Borapani. That Borapani, being a very small residential college, had a culture, a different culture, a culture of learning from each other, a culture of interdependence, a culture of friendliness, a culture of accommodation. So I could learn how to speak English in 1 year, much better than possibly if I had been in Edmunds or Anthony's. Because there's a big college, no one bothers about you. There we are about 100 and odd students, all in the hostel. We knew each other by name, day and night. We had breakfast together, lunch together, dinner together. And incidentally, you know what happens. For lunch and dinner, the main menu was beef. And in Bodo society, like in Assamese, I do not know what would be the impression of Assamese, that you start thinking that Bodo tribals can eat anything, including beef. But culturally, I was not used to eating beef because my parents, my forefathers have not eaten them. Otherwise, I have eaten rhinoceros dry meat. I eat mongoose. I eat many things that crawls and that flies. But beef was something that I had never tasted. And I was the only non-Christian student in Borapani at that time, along with a boy from Guwahati, who was also a Bodo boy from a well-to-do family. His father was member of parliament at that time, D.D. Bosumathari, and he was, of course, age-wise much older than I. We too were non-Christians. But let me tell you one thing. No one, not the teacher, not the students, not anyone ever asked me, why don't you become Christian? Never. We are only two. Look at the accommodativeness, the consideration. They never made me feel that I am not a Christian. And what happened? Willingly I used to go to the church after the dinner, their prayer. I used to attend, sing the hymns, Christian hymns. And I enjoyed it because there was no force. Possibly if someone tried to enforce on me that you become Christian, I would have revolted. But I was having my freedom. So this freedom is another important thing. I never tasted beef. Then the other fellow, Hindu, Bosumathari, he started eating. So I was alone. So, I mean, eating is one's choice. Eating is one choice. If Nagas eat dog meat, who are we to say, why do you sit on judgment? This is what their forefathers have eaten. Why do you become Hindu? Why do you become Christians? Why do you become Muslim? Because your parents were there. How many of us, of you, have selected your own religion? Have you ever thought of it? You become Hindu because my parents are Hindus. You become Christian because my parents are Christians. This is the culture, a culture that runs in the family. It's neither good nor bad, but it happens. Very few people select their own religion. So these are things that as a student you must be thinking. Why? You know, when you were small, when you were growing up, many of you must have come from an educated family. There is a book for children. The parents always buy it. Tell me why. Tell me why. Why? Why it is so? Why it cannot be the other way? You know, that questioning is very important in learning, in getting inspiration. You know, those people who want to succeed, they are not of special type, but their attitude is different. They have something known as perseverance, tenacity. Those of you who watch Grand Slam, tennis, Grand Slam, the Roland Garros Grand Slam is happening next month. Have you ever seen there is a big writing there on the panel of the playground that it is tenacity that makes you win. Tenacity and perseverance. And what is the tenacity and perseverance? We don't need to go far to know what it is. You know, in Assam history, The best example of a tenacious, perseverant person is the founder of the Ahom dynasty, Sukapa. You have heard of his name, Sukapa? Most of you have heard of his name. He founded Ahom dynasty. You know, he was a prince born in a territory between Upper Burma and Yunnan province of China. There, all the Shan tribes used to live there. They are a great warrior tribe. So he had no chance to become a king because there are brothers elder to him. So he was advised, and he himself also decided that you go west of their land in search of a kingdom. When he left, possibly he was more than 30, he may be 35. He came with 1,080 foot soldiers, 300 cavalry, 2 elephants, 8 nobles, 3 queens, his queens, and 3 children, 2 sons and 1 daughter, accompanied him. Though some historians want to say that there were no women in his team, I don't accept that, because Sukapa was not a traveler. Sukapa was not a religious person coming to teach something. He was coming here to found an empire, to establish an empire for himself. So naturally he had no intention of going back to his own place, so he would carry his own queens. As a matter of fact, the first 2 who succeeded him were the 2 boys who accompanied him. Only the 3rd Ahom king was born in Kamrupa. So naturally, my conclusion is that he came with his queens. And this man, you know how many years he took to cross the Patkai Boom? He took 13 years, not 1 or 2 years. 13 years, which rough distance is about 800 miles. 13 years he took. And having reached Namrup after 13 years, he was again trying to select a place for establishing his headquarters. And it took him 15 years more. Look at the tenacity of that man. He did not select any place as capital. For 15 years, he went round all over the place. Ultimately, he selected Choraidev. Choraidev he selected. The meaning of Choraidev, Ahom word, is a place bright in the hills. Choraidev. And having established this one, that means 12 years, 13 years, 15 years, 28 years plus, he ruled for another 12 years. So 40 years of his life had gone in this Kamrupa. And possibly if he had started at 35, he was 75. But this king was so tenacious, so persevering in everything. Despite all odds, he established the kingdom. So this is known as tenacity and perseverance of a person. We have the example here. So students, you read his life, then you yourself feel inspired by the tenacity, by the perseverance. I have told you that inspiration without perspiration is nothing. So your thinking process is very important, absolutely important, because you are what you think. Some people say you are what you eat. Okay, you are what you eat. If you eat too much of ghee, you become fat. Most of the vegetarian people, our North Indian brothers and sisters, they eat a lot of ghee and they are all very fat. But the more importantly, it is you are what you think. Yad bhavam tad bhavati. So think well, think, give always an auto-suggestion to your mind that you are going to achieve this. You are what your deep driving desire is. As is your desire, so is your will. As is your will, so is your deed. As is your deed, so is your destiny. I repeat this one. This is a quotation from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. You are what your deep driving desire is. As is your desire, so is your will. As is your will, so is your deed. As is your deed, so is your destiny. So ultimately the destiny is linked to your mind. You are not a prisoner of destiny if your mind is free. Keep your mind free so that it can go exploring things, create new ambitions for you, new aspirations for you. Success will come to you one day. I have struggled and I have achieved certain measures of success. But then success and happiness are two different things. One may not be happy even with all the successes. That is another philosophy of life. What is life? Life ultimately is quest for happiness. In the Constitution of USA, they have mentioned that life is a pursuit for happiness, quest for happiness. So, as I told you, a farmer will be happy if his crop is good. It is the sense of happiness. Keep your sense of happiness always active. Otherwise, your success has no meaning. Try to be happy with small things. Don't say that this is not enough for me. Learn to be happy. This is the secret of success. A happy man succeeds, whereas an unhappy man, he keeps on struggling against his own mind. He can't control his mind. So, well, my dear students, is it too long I am speaking? An old 70-year-old, 78-year-old man trying to inspire the young people who have different dreams, different priorities in life. But in some way, we are all together. We are all human beings with the same sense of happiness, distress. We are saying that we know how to smile, we know how to weep. So age does not make much of a difference. Now I was told that at the end there should be answering questions. And I'm willing for it. If you feel that you have something to ask me, ask anything that is coming out of your mind. Do not hesitate to ask. Hesitation is a big obstacle. And then you must always be inquisitive. You must always be inquisitive. You know, inquisitive man is preferred by God himself. You know, in Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says that 4 types of people seek me. Distressed, those who are very distressed. Second, those who are very inquisitive, they want to know something. Third, those who want to be very rich. Fourth, those who are very knowledgeable. Chatur vida bhajante mam, janaha sukitana arjuna. Artho, jignarsu means inquisitiveness. Artharthi, yani sa bhaktar sabha. That is what Bhagavad Gita himself says, Sri Krishna. So be inquisitive. Inquisitiveness enriches your knowledge. But we feel that if I ask something to the teacher, I may not be right. No, you may not be right. And what is right and what is wrong? What is right for me may not be right for you. What is right for you may not be right for me. It is sometimes very subjective. So don't hesitate to ask the questions. I am ready for it. If you have any question, anyone? Who is asking? Yes.
Sir, I want to know something.
Yes, you introduced here. You are teaching education?
Yes, sir.
UK.
Exactly.
Yes.
I want to know, sir, from you, like, is there any regret in your personal and professional life? And if so, would you like to suggest us?
Keep it there. Oh, take this one. Can you hear me clearly there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, very good.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
I want to know, is there any regret in your personal or